10, 11, and 12. Now open up your projects and donate all your stuff. This time it's a little bit slower than last week, but I got it in about 5 minutes, a little bit over 5 minutes. Not bad. Did I just respawn again? What's going on, Dag? If you're new to the channel, welcome to Again Gaming. I'm your host, Nox, where my favorite thing to do is respawn, and it's not because I'm good. It's another week, and I have another farm for you guys. And if you guys been following my guides to farm these summer swarm event caches, help out the channel and help out the video by make sure you like the video and drop a comment and let your friends know. That way they, at least I have an option to do this farm. And obviously doing farms like this is not required. It's just nice to have different types of farming methods. That way when you get bored of doing one, like doing the priority strongholds, you'll have something like this you can do a couple of times. You do end up with a lot of juicy rewards. You get 3 exotic components, you get 1200 seasonal XP, you get a shade level, you'll get a named item cache, and if you're new to the game, you're going to get a blueprint as well to help build up your blueprint library. Either way, I'm going to go over a couple tips and tricks from the previous videos that I saw people asking about or commenting. Then we'll get right into the timed run. If you're a new agent and you are chasing blueprints, just make sure you buy the shared blueprints. That way when you complete the project, you actually get a blueprint that you don't have already instead of possibly getting a duplicate. Another thing for this to work, you're going to need the actual DLCs. So when you go over to the boost, do not actually buy the boost because it's only a one-time purchase and you're going to be out of those credits. So if you want to do this farm, make sure you have the actual DLC, because when you have the DLCs, you're going to have the boost permanently available. And if you want the 2 exotics, you're going to have the deluxe pack purchased. And you will only get the 2 guns to break down as if you don't already have them in your inventory or stashed somewhere on your account. So make sure you break down any set that you already have. That way you could get a new set every time you make a new character. We are at the starting point right now, and pretty much every time you do a run, delete that character when you were done, and then start a new one and just keep going indefinitely. Same as last week, we are not going to go to DC and we're not going to Brooklyn, but we are actually going to go to New York. So let's go ahead and start this. Yeah, so this week is components. There's a bunch of different routes you can go. I tested out a bunch of different ones, and it just depends if you want to self-sustain yourself. Like if you don't have the resources, there's routes you can take that has a lot of resources on the way. And then there's going to be routes where you could just don't need resources. You could just kind of blast through it and get it done. It's going to be up to you. And a cool thing about going to New York, you do start at level 30 and you get a loadout with level 30 gear, a bunch of armor pieces, and you get like 6 choices of primary secondaries, and you get the sidearm. So once this loads, we go to store, tab over to add-ons. And we are going to boost to level 40. And if you have the Brooklyn DLC, this is going to be free. Make sure you have the Brooklyn DLC and you don't do the one-time purchase of the boost. I had a couple of people who did the one-time purchase, which kind of sucks. But either way, now we are going to be loading into the DC at level 40. So this run right here is going to be if you don't need resources. So I'm just going to do the bare minimum that you need if you are like have everything unlocked, all your blueprints and stuff. So just make sure to follow this right here if you don't care about the levels and stuff like that. But either way, I care about the levels, so I'm just going to talk to the core master. That's going to unlock the watch. Don't have to do the tutorial. Grab these guns with the grant. Come over here. Talk to Anaya. We're going to get the shared resources. Now we're going to fast travel to the safe house, the Truman safe house right here. Open up your inventory before you actually go out there and activate your modifiers. That way you can get the additional 10% seasonal XP boost, but you don't need to do it if you don't want. And this is the spot that we are going to go to right here. We're going to go to the east exit, up over here. You don't need to grab this one if you don't want, but I like to grab a total of 13 just in case, because if they give you an average like 20, you're going to get, 240 with 12. Plus, sometimes you get more than 20 per crate, so they'll get you over the 250. But just in case, I just like to grab the 13 of them. You could grab this. You could jump up on the truck. It doesn't matter. I just like to do this one. It's a little bit quicker if you don't miss the corner like I did. Then having to climb up on the truck. Then here, try to ignore the enemies. You don't want to fight them. So here's the third one. So you could skip the first one or the third one and head over here if you wanna roll the dice with only grabbing 12. It's going to be up to you guys. You could shave some time off the counter if you wanted to. For the most part, we're like already there. You could run through here, or you could just keep running down the street. It's going to be up to you, either or. And there's a bunch of resources in here too that you can run around and grab afterwards if you really want, but it's not going to be necessary. So here we are. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now open up your projects and donate all your stuff. This time it's a little bit slower than last week, but I got it in about 5 minutes, a little bit over 5 minutes. Not bad. So just call it 6 minutes or less. And then for pretty much this, break down your exotic component, break down the rest if you want to. And then all you gotta do is just mark it as junk. And I got the gloves. Break this down. And at this point, all you do is exit them and you'll be done. So under 6 minutes, you could have this done. Not too bad, not too bad. And there's another one right here. Here's a 13th one. If you want to, if you don't have enough resources, you could grab this 13th one right here. But for the most part, you should have enough resources with 12. But like I said, you can gamble with it. I did have one time where I grabbed only 12 and I was literally like 1 or 2 short. So now I just grabbed 13. Now for this run, it's going to take longer because we are going to grab a bunch of resources on the way. That way you can sustain your next run. So if you don't have a lot of resources, definitely want to do this one. And it's going to help you get enough resources to sustain the next route. So same thing as before, new agent. And we are going to go to New York. It is still quicker than doing like countdown and all the other stuff, running strongholds. You do get up to 3 exotic components, you get a shade level, and you get up to 1200 of seasonal XP. So you can't really go wrong with this. And you know, if you don't worry about the resources, you could run this in under 6 minutes, that's for sure. Probably even faster depending if you're like on a computer or not. Alrighty, we are at level 40. We are in DC. So now follow these steps. We talk to the quartermaster. This is going to unlock the watch. So when we get that 700,000, we're actually going to get the level. Go get your grants. If you have this unlocked, the hunters, you can run over here, get the key, pop this open, get your shield splinter, keep it. But for the most part, we're just going to break it down. Come over here, talk to her. You're going to buy the shared materials, the blueprints, if you don't have all your blueprints unlocked. That way you do get a new blueprint. Open up your inventory. We're going to turn on the modifiers to get the 10%. Got it. We're going to go to the Truman right here. This time, instead of taking the east exit, we are going to take the north exit. And I got like a nice little route where you have a bunch of resources you can grab on the way. We're going here again. You can mark it out, make it easy. So north exit. We're going to come here, climb out here. We're going to round right this way. And there's a bunch of like little resource things you could grab if you want to, little bags and stuff like that. But the main reason why we are doing this is to get the protective fabric and the receiver parts. Pop this open. You don't need to grab this one. You can skip it over because it's only literally one. And you're not going to have a key to open that up. So don't worry about that. Next, we're going to climb up here. This sucks that the door is not unlocked. Shoot that. And honestly, you could skip this part too if you want, because this is very time consuming. I'm just going to show you all the best material spots you could grab doing this route. Or you could just, you know, mix it up if you want. You could do half of the original, the first route that I showed you, and then skip this part. You could literally just like mix and match it. I'm just going to show you the fully optimized route that I found when you only want materials, so lots of resources. We're going to jump here and ignore the enemies. Just literally ignore them. Just keep running. You don't want to waste any time fighting them. You're not going to literally benefit from actually fighting the enemies, so just ignore them. We're going to jump this. You don't have to jump this if you don't want. You can actually run around the wall. It's up to you. But if you want to grab the cash, you have to jump over. But if not, run around this wall and just hit your claim interact button. Then we're going to jump in here. So that's our second one, third one. No, that's our second one. Now we're going to grab our third one. Now you could skip grabbing the third one if you want, and then you're going to get a total of 12. But I just like to grab it just in case. That way I don't have to like go run out somewhere. But this one is totally optional. You do not have to grab this one. You could literally just run straight to the resource after this. You go in that little room. And then on this way here, you could shoot this and grab a bunch of resources too. And there's a bunch of containers you could grab afterwards as well. Alrighty, so we got 3 components. So we're going to run over here. So that's going to be 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's one back here, but you could go here for your 11th and 12th one. Then you can open up your projects, donate everything. Now we're Gucci. Project done. So now I'm going to show you this stuff right here. You don't need to do it. You can mix and match all you want. But if you want the resources, like I said, grab this, jump down, come in here, grab this. Here you go. And the main benefit of doing this is you don't have to do countdown. This should more than enough self-sustain you. Now you're going to come here because if you look at this, you can look at the side. It says supplies available, meaning you can go into the supply room and grab that big cache that's going to give you like the 4 items, sometimes the bonus item as well. And there's always going to be the same 2 control points. The Navy Plaza, and I think it's the crane one right to the right of it, cinder block one. You got this right here. You got a bunch of resource bags you can grab as well. The main thing is you want to grab this right here. Got it. Then you could grab these as well. And just any of the resources you don't need, you could just omit grabbing them to speed up the run. We're going to come here. As you can see, this is adding like 3 minutes, about 3 minutes to the run. So it's not totally horrible, 3 or 4 minutes. But you're going to see why you want to do these if you want to self-sustain these runs. Alrighty, so 8:0 something. We're going to open up our caches. Got Bloody Knuckles. That's our 3rd exotic component. We got all of these. Now, every time we get a bonus item, that's good for us. More resources. Now we're just going to mark these all as junk. We got the 6 weapons from New York as well, so that's more resources. Come over here, you can see all of your armors in one spot. We got a bunch of loot. And then you could do the resource, you could do these 2. I wouldn't mess with those. You just want to do the actual guns and the armor pieces. So let's break them down and see how much we get. So we got 705 protective fabric and 415 receiver components. That's pretty much going to pay for the next run. You need to donate 500 protective fabric and 500 receiver components, and we're pretty much, you know, almost in the positive for everything. And then for the other ones, you'll just go to your watch and then use your scavenging point. We do gain 1 level every time we do this run, so you could use that 1 scavenging point for whatever resource you need, say whatever poly, and it's going to give us 300. Or we can get 225 of the blue quality ones. So use that 1 scavenging point pretty much to top off whatever other resources you need to do this run. Alrighty, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Alrighty, Dags, let me know if you think this farm is worth it, running it in under 5 minutes. You're going to get the exotic cash. You're going to get 700,000 XP, which is 1 shade level. You are going to get up to 1200 seasonal XP, a named item cash, plus a blueprint. And if you got a faster route that you can do this type of farm and get all those rewards in under 5 minutes, make sure to share it with the community. That way we could all try to make the best of the summer swarm event. I know the freaking drop rates are doo-doo and nobody's getting any bonus items. And if you made it this far, make sure to like the video, drop a comment below what you think. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe. It'll help out the channel. And let's take a moment to put our hands together and pray to sweet baby RNGesus. Please bless the community with those summer swarm caches because they are doo-doo right now. Now that you guys are blessed, get out there and clap some cheeks.